Good evening, it's a lovely evening, and welcome to Camnet Television Main News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo to present. Our top stories in the news tonight. President Hakainde Hichilema re-echoes Zambia's stance on LGBTQ rights. 10 magistrates transferred from Lusaka on suspected political alignment. CHAZANGA clinic operating without a maternity ward. In international news, anti-coup protests continue in Khartoum, Sudan. And in sports news, government to contribute 41 million kwacha ahead of AFCON.
Are you a married man or woman? Are you encountering challenges in your marriage? Are you planning to take your marriage and love relationship to higher levels? Your business platform is all set for you as a couple. You are invited to attend Zambia's First Love and Marriage plus Business Conference. Amid these uncertainties in the economy, higher divorce rate in the world, plan to be one of the most successful couple in Zambia. Date 28th May 2022. Time from 9 hours to 16 hours. Participation fee 1,200 kwacha per couple. Lunch inclusive. For registration, payment can be done through MTN mobile money on 0962 965 883 or 0979 753 010 for Airtel Money. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International. Speakers, Professor and Mrs. Catherine Munkumba. And your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chiluba. This is a must-attend conference. Plan and make a date with us. Your lives, marriage and future will never be the same. Remember, we are born for greatness. Book for your seats by calling 0962 965 883. See you on the 28th May 2022.
Your love always brings me back.
Hello again. Now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has told Camnet Television in a text message that he is not in support of the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender rights as Zambia remains a Christian nation. President Hichilema, who was responding to the Camnet Television National Matters program aired on Monday, 23rd May 2022, has dismissed claims that he has not come out strong in condemning the Western supporting gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgender rights. Meanwhile, Camnet Television Chairman Pastor Moses Chiluba is happy that President Hakainde Hichilema has come out strong on LGBTQI and says he does not subscribe to gay rights. Earlier this month, on the 22nd of May, the Swedish and Finnish embassies in Zambia flew the rainbow flag along with their own national flags on their premises, which stands for the support of lesbian, gay, bisexual, gender, queer and intersex LGBTQI rights. More in this report.
Earlier this month, the Swedish and Finnish embassies in Zambia flew the rainbow flag along with their own national flags on their premises, which stands for the support of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer and intersexual LGBTQI rights. This act has received criticism from some stakeholders who have described it as a breach of the 1961 Vienna Convention and a lack of due regard to the laws of Zambia, religious and cultural sensitivity to its people. Under Article 20 of the Vienna Convention, the mission is only allowed to fly the flag and emblem of their country on their premises and on the vehicle, and diplomats are mandated to respect the law of the receiving state. Issues pertaining to the LGBTQI community have always sparked national debate, and successive governments have faced challenges on the same matter, in that politicians advance the issue to discredit one another, given that the subject of homosexuality is detested in the Zambian society. Former President Edgar Lungu spoke against it as the matter was being tied to donor support.
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality? Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced and so on?
Zambia's 7th Republican President, Hakainde Hichilema, also gave his position on the matter.
We did not go out there for lesbian rights. You haven't heard me. You have not heard me. We did not go there to talk about lesbian rights. We did not go there for that. We did not go there for what I've just said. This is the point I want to make, and make emphatically. No one went for an agenda of those issues. The Constitution provides for those issues. I'm not a constitution. I'm an Adventist myself. I'm an elder in the church. I even had time to attend service. I had time to attend service in Washington.
Notably, the act of flying the prohibited flag also did take place under the previous administration, and the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia is dismayed with the actions by some embassies accredited to Zambia. And Hidden Word Ministries overseer Pastor Moses Chiruba has held successive governments for denouncing homosexuality in Zambia.
I must say that I'm extremely happy having correspondence from the government and the position of President HH. And this confirms that all of us as preachers, as clergy, and everyone in Zambia, we must make sure that we are in tune with what is on the ground. President HH is against homosexuality, is against these vices, and him being an elder in the seventh day, I am very pleased.
While LGBT rights may be considered normal in other countries, in Zambia, they amount to an abomination and crime. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
And President Hichilema has exercised his prerogative of mercy by pardoning 2,045 inmates ahead of African Freedom Day commemoration, which falls on the 25th of May every year. Addressing the media in Lusaka Tuesday, Acting Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Ambrose Lufuma, says among the total inmates pardoned, 1,969 are ordinary inmates, while 33 are old age and 8 are foreign nationals. Mr. Lufuma, who is also Defense Minister, also says the President has also commuted sentences for 607 inmates to various terms of imprisonment from different correctional centers across the country. He adds that the current total inmate population stands at 25,242.
His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Force, has exercised his prerogative of mercy by pardoning 2,045 inmates. 2,045 inmates. The pardoned inmates include 1,969 ordinary inmates, 33 old-aged, 8 foreign nationals, 14 recommended for unconditional pardon, and 21 who were detained during His Excellency's pleasure. In a Christian nation, we are called to exercise lenience on our fellow human beings. If well supported, the former inmates will be accorded an atmosphere that shall contribute significantly to the well-being of their families, the community, and the nation as a whole. So it's very, very important that as we welcome the inmates that have been released through the prerogative of mercy, we all should assist them to ensure that they integrate into our societies, they are supported, feel at home, and are able in turn to contribute to the social and economic welfare and growth of society and this economy.
A 29-year-old Zambian youth of Chongwe district has boasted of making millions out of an agricultural project that he began with 500 kwacha in 2015. Speaking when Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises Development Elias Mubanga paid a visit at his farm Tuesday, Akibu Saudi has revealed that his poultry and vegetable farm has provided direct employment to 50 people. He has since called on other youths to take a step towards actualizing their dreams. Meanwhile, Minister of SMEs Elias Mubanga has challenged other youths to be inspired from success stories of their counterparts and rise to the challenge. More in this report.
Youths in Zambia are many known as job seekers due to the limited employment opportunities in the formal sector. While this is the case, 29-year-old Akibu Saidi, a Zambian youth of Chongwe district, narrates how he left his job as a social worker to venture into agriculture. Speaking Tuesday afternoon when Minister of Small Medium Enterprises Development Elias Mubanga visited his farm, Mr. Saidi explains that the project, which began in 2013, officially took off in 2015 with an initial capital of 500 kwacha. He explains that to date, he is able to grow a variety of crops and rear chickens aside from tomato, which is the main crop, while providing employment to 50 people, among them women. The youth entrepreneur explains that today, his farm is able to pull in a total profit of 1 million kwacha in 6 months.
This is business, as the President of the Republic of Zambia on various occasions has emphasized on the importance of agriculture, the agricultural sector when it comes to economic recovery. And I find myself to be one that has willfully taken that step to contribute toward the recovery of our own economy via agriculture as a business.
Meanwhile, Minister of SMEs Mr. Elias Mubanga, who was amazed at the project, has challenged other youths to learn a lesson of success from the stories of their counterparts.
Whether you are in Shangombo, whether you are in Kasama, whether you are in Mwinilunga, in the deepest remote, you are able to do it. This government, New Dawn government, this is a policy that young people must be productive. There is no way you just going around offices by offices looking for money.
A variety of produce is grown on the farm, including tomatoes, green pepper, cabbage, and strawberries, among others. Mr. Saidi, with the help of concerned parties, has also come up with a community school offering free education to 150 community members as one way of giving back to society. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Chongwe District.
Residents of Lusaka's CHAZANGA compound in Mandevu constituency have appealed to government to construct a maternity wing at CHAZANGA Clinic and upgrade the health facility to a mini hospital in order to provide quality health services. The residents have lamented to Camnet News that CHAZANGA Clinic has been operating without a maternity wing, making it difficult for expecting mothers to access maternity services, especially during the night. They say maternity services can only be accessed at Chipata and Material Level 1 hospitals, which are far from the area. More in this report.
Residents of CHAZANGA compound have complained that CHAZANGA Clinic has been operating without a maternity ward for over 2 years. They say quality health service delivery in CHAZANGA compound still remains a far-fetched dream, as the health facility is incapable of meeting the demand of the compound's growing population. The residents say that this development has led expectant mothers to seek for maternity services at Chipata and Material Level 1 hospitals, which are quite a distance from the area. They tell this reporter that expectant mothers face difficulties, especially at night, as transport fares for taxis fetch between 300 kwacha to 500 kwacha.
Manje ifo pachazanga fishi mwatu sudila abantu balechula sana ukufumya kuno kwa chazanga kuya kuchingwele na kuchipata 500 pakuti alipile booking. Manje 500 asapuki ngaisachoka kuti elo muntu akapapila munyumba mupasa problem ambuti wapapila bwanji munyumba ngalipe transport yazainda bwanji.
Clinic yes resala 16 hours so ngatwali waro bushu tatakuwa kwa kuya bamtatoa kwa tempi ya kunina mataxi so ngaiti mwato afidishako twali umfuatire bawa dire isukana nomba na muri rero kaya tatoa ishi baba bomba po abali biti baishi babuno bwinga mwatupusha kwa tishiba keso radisa
tuzapeza waleta 2-3 days to find that medicine nawe yasira so mwanga minkwala mtetele kwa clinic kwatu.
A 2019 study by UNICEF showed that even though Zambia had made progress in reducing child mortality over the years, challenges still remained in maternal and neonatal mortality caused by a number of issues, among them failure to access health centers. Meanwhile, the residents explained that the clinic operates from 8 hours to 17 hours, making it difficult for one to access the health facility at night. However, a poor road network is another hindrance.
Bantu batandaula munkwala ngati muntu adwala azapeza munkwala mulipe azandite mukuvula mu drugs so government ifunika yaonapo.
I think clinic bafunika list wachitako extend ngati bafuna kuvala ndawo ya kuvalira ko clinic ifunika at least wachitako extend up to 20 so not 17. By 17 mungapeza bantu benangu babwera pa clinic then wasangati bapeza tibavala mwaona ka so ijasiri mushe then the other thing for road ifunika ma road at least wacha yako bwino nkaleko clear so that ngati muntu adwala so it is very easy to take that patient to the clinic with the good roads.
According to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 3, ensuring health lives and promoting well-being at all ages is essential to sustainable development. However, quality health service delivery still remains a challenge in some parts of the country. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News.
KWACHA Member of Parliament Andrew Tayengwa has attributed the delays in the implementation of some constituency development funded projects to proposals which are being sent back to the Ward Development Committees, WDC, for rectification. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Tayengwa says the council is trying to avoid finding wrong projects at the expense of the development of projects. Meanwhile, Challenge Ward 8 Councillor Ruben Mwenya says the council is working to ensure that all of the projects approved under the CDF are done in the shortest time possible. Details in the following report.
Despite KWACHA constituency being known as one of the most developed constituencies in the country, the place lacks important basic needs such as health facilities, schools, and empowerment for its people. The increase in the Constituency Development Fund from 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million kwacha will therefore help to cover development in the areas that have lagged behind. However, the delay to release the funds by the Ministry of Local Government for projects to commence in the area has not sat well with the people of KWACHA. Meanwhile, KWACHA Area Member of Parliament Andrew Tayengwa, when contacted for a comment, says the delay is as a result of some project proposals being sent back to the Ward Development Committee for review.
The constituents, what we did with my team, we had to conduct first of all an audit to ascertain whether what these what development committees are doing is correct, whether they have liaised with the people and the like. But we discovered that in our audit, we discovered that most of these development committees in different wards, they did not consult the residents. It was almost a similar trend in all the wards. So what I did, I had to sit down with my team and we agreed that we should send back the proposals back to the Ward Development Committee so that they go back to the residents, they liaise with the residents, because this issue is all about consultation. The reason why the President had to...
And Chilenjo Ward 8 Councillor Ruben Mwenya says government through the CDF committee is still working on ways to effectively and efficiently utilize the CDF and has since highlighted some projects which are still underway.
An ablution to be done also at Muyoma Basic School. We also have pavings at the same hospital because initially people, or maybe nurses, the health staff faces a lot of challenges when they're trying to move patients from one ward to the other because of the state of the environment that side. So there's also need that we do a pavement at the hospital.
Mercy Chanika reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Now, information has emerged that 10 Lusaka-based magistrates have been transferred to different provinces with immediate effect on alleged political grounds. According to information obtained by Camnet News from sources within the judiciary, the 10 magistrates have already been given their transfer letters. Among those transferred is Principal Resident Magistrate Jennifer Walia, who was presiding over the case involving former Tourism Minister Ronald Chitotela and PF Information Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda. Others include Chief Resident Magistrate Dominic Makalicha, Betty Malupenga, Tandosa Chabala, Alice Walusiku, and Felix Kaoma. Jordan Motors Limited has denied an allegation before the Lusaka High Court that it owes the Lusaka City Council more than 250,000 kwacha uncollected bus and penalty fees. This is in a case in which LCC has sued Jordan Motors seeking payment of uncollected bus fees for the period 2020 to 2022 amounting to the sum of more than 290,000 kwacha, and that interest should be paid for the time wasted. But in its defense, Jordan Motors submits that it is misleading for the LCC to claim that it has been prevented from collecting its revenue when in fact the monies has been paid to it every 6 months. More in this report.
A motor vehicle company which was recently sued in the Lusaka High Court by the Lusaka City Council has refuted claims that it owes penalty fees to the council. In this case, Lusaka City Council has dragged the said Jordan Motors to court seeking a declaration that the court orders the motor vehicle company to pay more than 250,000 kwacha of uncollected bus and penalty fees it owes to the council. Further, Lusaka City Council wants the court to declare that the actions by Jordan Motors Limited of not paying the fees for 3 years is a violation with the laws of Zambia and is illegal. Also that the court directs the defendants to pay the uncollected bus fees for the period of 2020 to 2022 amounting to the sum of 299,712 kwacha, and that interest should be paid for the time wasted, costs, and any relief the court may deem fit. However, the company has refuted all claims advanced before the court by the council, arguing that it has been paying levies to Lusaka City Council every 6 months, and it is not true that Lusaka City Council has been prevented from collecting revenue. It further submits that almost all the markets and bus stations were under the control of political cadres who collected and allegedly deprived Lusaka City Council of revenue collection. Cherish Sibote, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Embattled Kabushi Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo and his wife have asked the Economic Financial Crimes Court to cite United Party for National Development Lusaka Youth Provincial Chairperson Anderson Banda for contempt for allegedly interfering with the operations of the court. This is in a case in which the duo are accused of being in possession of property suspected of being proceeds of crime, tax evasion and conspiracy to defraud. When the matter came up for commencement of trial Tuesday before Lusaka Magistrate Fides Hamaundo, defense lawyer Makebi Zulu argued that on the 20th of May 2022, his client was assisted to leave the court premises by the police because UPND cadres threatened to kill him. Mr. Zulu asked the court to take action against Mr. Banda as the alleged contempt was committed within the court premises. More in this report.
What transpired on the 20th of May 2022, Embattled Kabushi Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo and his wife have asked the Economic and Financial Crimes Court to cite United Party for National Development Lusaka Youth's Provincial Chairperson Anderson Banda for contempt for allegedly interfering with the operations of the court. The embattled lawmaker and his wife Nancy Lusambo made this application Tuesday morning through their defense counsel Makebi Zulu when they appeared before Lusaka Magistrate Fides Hamaundo. In the case, they are charged with 10 counts, among them being in possession of property suspected of being proceeds of crime, conspiracy to defraud, and tax evasion. According to the application, the duo submit that on the 20th of May 2022, UPND cadres stormed the court premises and threatened to kill them, and it was only by the help of the police officers that they managed to flee from the premise safely. They have since argued that they would not be subjected to a fair trial without intimidation if the court does not act upon the request, given the basis that the incident occurred within the presence of the court, which is tantamount to lowering the court's dignity, a thing that amounts to contempt. The court has since adjourned the case to the 3rd of June 2022 for ruling and has directed the defense to file submissions on the alleged contempt and the state to respond. On Friday last week, a horde of UPND youths stormed at the Lusaka's magistrate court and caused confusion when they attempted to manhandle Mr. Lusamban PF Information Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda. Police in riot gear sneaked Mr. Lusambo into the tunnels before driving him away, using a police vehicle to safety. However, UPND Lusaka Youth's Provincial Chairperson Anderson Banda refuted claims on Friday when he addressed the media at the court's ground that the group was not there to manhandle Mr. Lusambandi's wife. He disclosed to the media that the group was there to follow proceedings and offer solidarity to President Hakainde Hichilema in a defamation case.
We have not come here to manhandle anyone or to disturb any court proceeding here. We are basically here to show solidarity to the president, our beloved president. That's all. And we are within the confines of the law to offer solidarity, and we've been doing this even the time when we were in opposition. When we are coming here offering solidarity to our president, even now when there is a matter involving the president, we are within the law to offer solidarity to the president. If we wanted to manhandle Boma and Lusambo and anyone else, they were going to be in the air by now. And no one was going to stop us. So that accusation or those media, whatever you are talking about, they are malicious. Probably maybe created by the same desperate chaps like Boma and Lusambo and Nakachinda. In fact, Nakachinda is an unrepentant lunatic. He is an unrepentant lunatic. And time is catching up with him. It's not good to provoke people who are silent and who are respecting you.
Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, says the decision by the Teaching Service Commission to disqualify teachers above the age of 45 in the ongoing 30,000 teacher recruitment exercise is backed by the National Pension Act. In an interview, NUPEZ Executive President Victor Muyumba says the National Pension Act stipulates that one should have worked for a minimum of 15 years and above if they are to qualify for NAPSA benefits. Mr. Muyumba says teachers who are above the age of 45 will not manage to serve for 15 years and above in the civil service, thereby being disqualified for recruitments. More in this report.
The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, has described as ignorant statements that the Ministry of Education is discriminating against some citizens by disqualifying those above the age of 45 in the ongoing recruitment of 30,000 teachers. The announcement was recently made by Teaching Service Commission Chairperson Dafin Chimuka, who explained that verification for the same was complete at district level, but that teachers who are above the age of 45 as well as foreigners were disqualified. This has brought a lot of debate in the country, with politicians, education stakeholders, and human rights activists condemning the same. NUPEZ Executive President Mr. Victor Muyumba, however, says the age limit is in line with the National Pension Act, which demands that a beneficiary should have served for not less than 15 years if to qualify. He further expresses that the Act should not be reformed, as there is need to keep employees within an age range where they are most productive.
It's because of the statutes that we have as a country. Remember, right now, it's mandatory that everyone who is employed must be contributing to NAPSA. And the NAPSA has an act. Now, for you to be eligible for pension, you are supposed to have contributed not less than 180 times. 180 times translate into 15 years of service without breaking any period or year. You should have served for 15 years for you to make 180 contributions. And these jobs are not contractual. They are permanent and pensionable. So everything is supposed to move together. Everything is supposed to move in sync. If the Act says you should work not less than 15 years before you are considered for pension, it means you need to look at the retirement age.
Mr. Muyumba has also raised sentiments that some teachers may have been unemployed for a long time, hence the need to give them a chance, stating that it was not until about 7 years ago that the teaching service became overcrowded.
We don't expect, by the way, to have a lot of people. Anyway, I'm yet to see one who finished college and has been waiting for recruitment for all these years, and they have obtained 46 whilst waiting. I'm yet to learn of that. Those that may be above 45, maybe those that may have been in the private sector for quite some years, and now would want to switch from the private sector to government.
The NUPE's executive president has stressed the need for public-private partnerships as one way of solving the problems in the teaching sector going forward. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Thank you for watching Camnet News. We take our first commercial break. We'll be back with more news after the break.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
We take risks every day, with some big things and some little things. Other risks are out of our control. But no matter what's important in your life, Savenda Insurance has got you covered. Whether it's for your home, vehicle, investments, or the people you love, you shouldn't have to worry about securing the future. Let us handle that. Since 2014, we have helped Zambians protect their health and personal property, offering peace of mind and fostering progress and development. Taking risks is what makes us grow. Insurance is what keeps us going strong.
Are you a married man or woman? Are you encountering challenges in your marriage? Are you planning to take your marriage and love relationship to higher levels? Your business platform is all set for you as a couple. You are invited to attend Zambia's First Love and Marriage plus Business Conference. Amidst uncertainties in the economy, higher divorce rate in the world, plan to be one of the most successful couple in Zambia. Date 28th May 2022. Time from 9 hours to 16 hours. Participation fee 1,200 kwacha per couple. Lunch inclusive. For registration, payment can be done through MTN mobile money on 0962 965 883 or 0979 753 010 for Airtel Money. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International. Speakers, Professor and Mrs. Catherine Munkumba. And your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chilwa. This is a must-attend conference. Plan and make a date with us. Your lives, marriage and future will never be the same. Remember, we are born for greatness. Book for your seats by calling 0962 965 883. See you on the 28th May 2022.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Residents of Ngwerere Ward 22 in Lusaka's garden compound have bemoaned the poor state of the garden Pendela Road. The residents told Camnet News that the bad state of the road has led to the disturbances in the operation of businesses which are along the road. The residents have since appealed to the area Member of Parliament, Christopher Shakafuswa, and Councillor Adrian Banda to come to their aid. Meanwhile, Councillor Banda says plans to rehabilitate the road have been set and advised residents to exercise patience. More in the following report.
Poor road networks and a lack of poor drainage systems in Lusaka still remains a challenge. This is Lusaka's garden compound in Mandevu constituency, where the Garden Pendela Road in Guerrero Ward 22 has been in a terrible state for some years. Residents in the area explain that the road has not been worked on for over 2 years and becomes impassable, especially during rainy season. And some taxi drivers have attributed the poor state of the road to lack of commitment to resolve the problem. They have since called on area councillor Adrian Banda to move in and rehabilitate the road.
manje odwara mabambo mazaenda bwachi ndise mutafika pa clinic chifukwa mabambo amalira so watirekerera parodi so government fika yanganepo parodi so new don yanganeko manje parodi baja wakudala baja wonse tibaibale kubatanga pali new don tiangane pali road manje ndiye ma problems aminiti nayo kuli
embekeza chabe kuti tone new don government kuti zatikonzera because every time and then rainy season itikumana na ma challenges yambiri wodwala amene na if or even if we maintain na mendo rainy season ni ma challenge bakuti uku worlding la worlding uku na uku so kulipe ko tipita chematika mamene muje wati umuntu uenda kunchito uenda na mendo upita mamene muje kulipe ko pitira so ni problem ni challenge ikulu maningi pali ni cheti ngakambeko chapo tidandaula ko chetu atikonzereko wakansela baiziba na road ya mendo tumaona chapo kuti kapena izachitika development but kulipe.
But when reached for a comment, Guerrero Ward 22 Councillor Adrian Banda says there is a plan to rehabilitate the road and urge the residents to be patient.
The road which is not in a good state, because when we were doing some other roads, that road there was a lot of potholes, and those potholes become larger due to heavy traffic. But our area member of parliament has put these roads to be worked on as soon as possible through the city funds, and they're going to contract as a council ZNS, because ZNS are much cheaper. These are measures where we are waiting for the New Dawn government to come to our aid to do an overhaul of the same stretch. So the stretch comes from Manchichi Road to Kasangura Road. This road must be expanded with the traffic lights. But meantime, we shall put up some measures because the road is not in a good state. So I'm appealing to the residents across to have patience because development is a process.
Roads make a crucial contribution to economic development and growth and bring important social benefits. One only hopes the road will be worked on to ease the movements of the people and other motorists. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News.
The Anti-Corruption Commission, SEC, says it is confident that the Bribes Payers Index will help Zambia generate vital information that will contribute to curbing bribery, which is a key form of corruption. SEC Acting Director General Michula Silumesi is optimistic that the survey will help inform the Commission on the strategic direction to take in combating corruption. And TIZ Executive Director Maurice Nyambe says the fight against corruption is not a preserve of a single organization. He says the objectives of the Bribe Payers Index include assessing the state of bribery probability, frequency, prevalence, severity, size, and service delivery points where bribery is rampant in selected government departments and agencies.
Bribe Payers Index, it helps for us to understand this vice. Where is it more prevalent? When you look at the government has a lot of institutions. Okay, so as the Anti-Corruption Commission, our interest is to find out how is this corruption happening in these institutions? At what rate is it happening? Where is it more pronounced? Once we have those answers, then we can realign our priorities and ensure that we focus on areas that need our attention as an institution. Whistleblower Act has certain provisions that assure these people who bring reports to the anti-corruption, it assures them of protection. In fact, our appeal as an institution is to encourage members of the public to come forth and report. Sometimes you can report without having to disclose your name. There are provisions of that nature. Okay? So please, the issue is, let's report this vice wherever and whenever it happens.
How is the Director General of the Anti-Corruption Commission earlier on mentioning about the success rates even when it comes to their convictions? I mean, 50-60% may be good in some respects, but maybe it shows that there is a lot more that we can do in terms of getting our act together. So as TIZ, we still do believe and know that the Anti-Corruption Commission is a very important entity when it comes to the fight against corruption in Zambia, because they're the ones that are constitutionally mandated to actually lead this fight. So all of us who contribute are really just coming in to supplement their efforts. But I think that the one thing that members of the public must know is that the fight against corruption should not be left to just one entity. So it's not just about what the SEC is doing, or about what TIZ is doing, or about what whichever other entity is doing.
The non-governmental gender organization coordinating Council NGOCC has welcomed government's decision to allow stakeholders to make submissions towards the 2023 national budget. NGOCC Executive Director Annie Anamela, however, says the allocation of national resources will not be effective if the citizens do not make submissions towards the budget. Ms. Anamela adds that the national budget should be responsive to the needs of the people, hence the need for any well-meaning Zambian to participate in its formulation. Tuesday, Ministry of Finance, in a statement, advised members of the public to begin making submissions of what should be included in the 2023 national budget. This is contained in a statement issued on her behalf by Organization Communications Advocacy and Networking Unit Coordinator Whitney Mulobela.
Africa will remain meaningless to us if we will continue to be yoked to the chains of poverty. How are we going to unyoke ourselves from the chains of poverty? It is by making tools like the national budget work for every one of us in this country. So even as we go to commemorate the International, the Africa Freedom Day tomorrow, even as we discuss these issues, we need to put the citizen, especially the most vulnerable of our people, the women and the children, at the center of development. And economic freedom, independence, political independence will be meaningless if our people, if we remain yoked to poverty. So we need economic liberation, which can only come about if we have these tools like these ones work for all of us.
This is Camnet Television News. We take our second and final break. We'll be back with international and sports news.
We take risks every day, with some big things and some little things. Other risks are out of our control. But no matter what's important in your life, Savenda Insurance has got you covered. Whether it's for your home, vehicle, investments, or the people you love, you shouldn't have to worry about securing the future. Let us handle that. Since 2014, we have helped Zambians protect their health and personal property, offering peace of mind and fostering progress and development. Taking risks is what makes us grow. Insurance is what keeps us going strong.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom.
Yes, baby.
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings. Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel.
Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Are you a married man or woman? Are you encountering challenges in your marriage? Are you planning to take your marriage and love relationship to higher levels? Your business platform is all set for you as a couple. You are invited to attend Zambia's First Love and Marriage plus Business Conference. Amid these uncertainties in the economy, higher divorce rate in the world, plan to be one of the most successful couple in Zambia. Date 28th May 2022. Time from 9 hours to 16 hours. Participation fee 1,200 kwacha per couple, lunch inclusive. For registration, payment can be done through MTN mobile money on 0962 965 883 or 0979 753 010 for Airtel Money. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International. Speakers, Professor and Mrs. Catherine Munkumba. And your hosts, Pastors Victoria and Moses Chilunga. This is a must-attend conference. Plan and make a date with us. Your lives, marriage, and future will never be the same. Remember, we are born for greatness. Book for your seats by calling 0962 965 883. See you on the 28th May 2022.
Your love always brings me back.
And now in international news, Sergeant Allah Al-Din Awad says the coup authorities and the military leaders in South Sudan seem to have another opinion about finishing their problem and say they are determined to continue killing and blood shedding of the Sudanese peaceful protesters. Meanwhile, silence has engulfed thousands of homes burnt down in different locations across the southern part of Sudan's unity state. February and April attacks saw about 40,000 flee for their lives. The UN mission is in the country called for an urgent healing and reconciliation process. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
Thousands of protesters took to the streets of the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, and its twin city of Omdurman on Monday to denounce the October military coup that plunged the country into further turmoil. The latest demonstration is another in a long string of protests following the coup which derailed the country's transition to democratic rule. We will keep taking to the streets until we have a full civilian government. There will be no power sharing, no compromise, no legitimacy to this coup that is seeking support from the people. They'll never get it. Riot police fired tear gas at protesters in Omdurman. A 20-year-old protester was killed there on Saturday by a cartridge weapon the security forces used near the house of the former Prime Minister, Ismail Al-Azari.
The COP authority and the military leaders seems to have another opinion about finishing this problem, and they are determined to continue killing and bloodshedding of the Sudanese peaceful protesters.
At least 96 people have died from the crackdown on the anti-coup protests which have taken place regularly since the October 25 military coup.
Silence has engulfed thousands of homes burnt down in different locations across the southern part of South Sudan's unity state. A February and April attack saw about 40,000 locals flee for their lives. The UN mission in the country called for healing and reconciliation as displaced residents fight to survive. Many people were killed in the village and all our property was looted. We ran to this place for protection and to see if we could get something to eat. The recent spate of attacks has caused the death of up to 155 people, including a humanitarian worker. The senior civil affairs officer from the UNMISS wants the perpetrators prosecuted.
The mission has always called for accountability on perpetrators, and we believe that this is something that should not be left to go like that. Let the committee come investigate and let whoever is culpable be held responsible and accountable for what transpired in Southern Unity. You will recall that this is about the second time that Southern Unity is witnessing this kind of problem.
To be frank, we are wondering whether the revitalized peace agreement is in fact being implemented or not. Because now our lives are threatened as we do not have peace. Soldiers loyal to South Sudanese President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar have spent the last few years training together in a bid to implement promised reforms, which include completing the unification of the army command. The rival groups were allegedly involved in the recent violence, each accusing the other. On Tuesday, one day after Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was inaugurated as president of Somalia, the UN envoy for the country held the peaceful transfer of power. The election of Mohamud ended a long-delayed process which saw concerns and insecurity increase after his predecessor's mandate expired without a successor in place.
Outgoing President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed Farmajo graciously conceded and congratulated and extended support to his successor. The new president was immediately sworn in, and the outcome has been fully accepted. As this council has noted repeatedly, Madam President, it is past time for Somali leaders to move beyond the prolonged political contest to focus on urgent national priorities.
The envoy met with the new president after his May 15 election to hear about his goals, which included ending a constitutional review and judicial reforms and giving urgent attention to the drought.
It's now time for sports news. Government has committed itself to sponsoring both the men's and women's football national teams by contributing 41 million kwacha ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. Speaking to the press Tuesday, Minister in charge of Youth Sports and Art, Elvis Nkandu, says inadequate funds should not be the reason the team should not qualify for the AFCON the fourth time. Nkandu discloses that 20 million kwacha will go towards supporting the Copper Queens, while 21 million kwacha will go to the senior men's team. This follows the request made by FAS during the FAS annual general meeting, where they needed a 41 million kwacha ahead of the AFCON. In cricket news, batter Wayne Madsen has signed a one-year contract extension with Derbyshire until the end of the 2023 season. Madsen, 38, is one of the club's most prolific batters, having scored more than 18,000 runs in all formats since signing his first contract in 2009. The new deal would take him into his 15th season with Derbyshire. Right-handed batter Madsen captained the club for 4 years until 2016, during which time he led them to the Division 2 title. He is also the club's all-time leading run scorer in the 2020 cricket with 3,010 runs. Madsen has scored 2 centuries and 4 half-centuries in the opening 6 matches of Derbyshire's county championship campaign, where they have won once and drawn 4 times. Olympic Youth Development Center, OIDC Twirling's rugby manager Jeff Ngwele says the game of rugby has seen great young talent develop among the youth. In an interview with Camnet Sports, Ngwele notes that the game is beneficial to the youths that participate in both national and international tournaments. More in the following report.
Rugby is a 15-a-side team sport. The objective of the game is to ground the ball behind the opponent's try line into what is called the in-goal area. Rugby is played both with the ball in the hands and by kicking the ball. However, when the ball is being carried in the hands, it can only be thrown or handed off backwards. In Zambia, rugby was considered a minor sport as most people did not have interest to participate in the game. The current situation is that the sport is fast growing. Olympic Youth Development Center OIDC Twirling's rugby manager says the game of rugby has seen great talent develop in the youth.
They benefit a lot in this game of rugby, in the sense that most of these boys and girls you see around here in my background, they learn rugby. At the same time, they also participate in the national assignments within Zambia, and also they go out to pray for the nation outside.
Ngwele discloses to Camnet Sports that the game of rugby has helped people live a meaningful life.
We normally have these games like once in the month. So today we have various teams which have come and participate in these two rings games here at YDC. We have the Lions from Chilanga. We also have Tendele. They are here. Also we have some schools nearby.
Rugby is now a popular sport in many countries, with clubs and national teams being found in places that are diverse. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet Sports, Lusaka.
To end Camnet television news, the headlines once again. President Hakainde Hichilema re-echoes Zambia's stance on LGBTQ rights. 10 magistrates transferred from Lusaka on suspected political alignment. CHAZANGA clinic operating without a maternity ward. In international news, anti-coup protests continue in Khartoum, Sudan. And in sports news, government to contribute 41 million kwacha ahead of AFCON. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which is coming from Colossians 4, verse 5 to 6. Act wisely toward outsiders, making the most of the time. Your speech should always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you should answer each person. Thank you for watching the news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Good night.